Welcome to this explainer. Today we are taking a truly fascinating journey together. We are going to completely demystify what is widely considered the absolute crown jewel of Advaita Vedanta philosophy. We're talking about verse 7 of the Mandukya Upanishad. If you have ever wondered about the absolute deepest layers of human consciousness, well, you are in exactly the right place.
But before we get into the ancient texts themselves, I want you to take a second and really consider this question. Who are you when the waking world completely disappears? Think about it. Every single night, you close your eyes and you leave this waking physical world entirely behind. You just vanish from it. So, who are you then? Today, you and I are going to act as travelers. We're embarking on this really deep, structured journey right through human consciousness itself to answer that exact question.
Section 1. The Ultimate Reality.
To figure this out, we are going to be exploring an ancient concept known as Turiya. Throughout this explainer, we're going to unpack exactly how Turiya represents the ultimate, non-dual reality of consciousness. And the thing is, it's not some distant, abstract idea. It is literally the foundation underlying every single human experience you have ever had. Verse 7 of the Mandukya Upanishad isn't just any piece of text. As I mentioned, it's known as the crown jewel of Advaita Vedanta. Why? Well, because normal human language completely fails when it tries to describe the infinite, right? But this one single profound verse systematically breaks down the boundaries of our perception. It sets the stage perfectly for the deep philosophical dive we're about to take into the nature of the self.
Section 2. Journey through Three Kingdoms.
Okay, let's dive into this. To understand this ultimate reality, we first need to clearly understand the reality we think we live in every single day. I want you to think of yourself as a traveler, one who daily wanders through three entirely distinct kingdoms of consciousness. Every human being takes this exact same daily journey across these three kingdoms. Step 1 is the waking world, known in Sanskrit as Vaishwanara. This is the outer, objective reality, where you are right now, processing the world through your physical senses. But then you fall asleep, and you enter Step 2, the dream world, or Taijasa. Here, the outer world is totally gone, replaced by an inner, subjective world of light and mental creation. Finally, you sink into Step 3, deep sleep, or prajna. This is a kingdom of homogeneous darkness. It's a massive, unmanifest consciousness where even your mind and your dreams completely disappear.
Section 3. Stripping Away the Illusions.
Now, what's really interesting about all this is that we cycle through those three states constantly. But verse 7 tells us that none of these three kingdoms are your true self, not a single one. To define the infinite, the ancient texts use this incredibly powerful process of radical elimination called nidhi, which translates to not this, not this. Because our language can't adequately describe the infinite, we have to strip away what it is not. And this verse ruthlessly applies this process. It systematically negates every known state of consciousness to strip away our false concepts of who we are. Not by hishprajnam, meaning you are not the outer waking state. Not antahaprajnam, you are not the inner dream state. Not brajanaganam, you are not that dark, blank mass of deep sleep. It even goes further, stating you aren't the state in between, nor are you just simple knowing or inert unconscious matter. It literally wipes the slate clean of everything we think we know about consciousness.
Section 4. Defining the indescribable.
So, if you aren't the waking world, and you aren't the dream world, and you aren't the sleeping world, what exactly is left? The stunning realization here is that the ultimate reality simply cannot be objectified by our normal human faculties. You can't just look at it like an object sitting on a table. The verse details exactly how transcendent this reality actually is. It is adrishtam, completely unseen by sensory perception. It is avyavyav-haryam, totally beyond all worldly transactions or relations. It is agrachyam, ungraspable. All lakshanam, it has absolutely no distinctive marks or features. Achintyam, it's utterly unthinkable by the human mind. And finally, avyapadesham, completely indescribable by words. Notice how we're really building a profound sense of mystery here. This reality is completely beyond your eyes, beyond your words, and way beyond your logic.
Section 5. The Movie Screen Analogy.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next point. If your mind is spinning just a little bit right now trying to grasp the ungraspable, honestly, that is completely normal. So let's use a classic Vedanta analogy to help ground this highly mystical concept into something we all instantly recognize. Think of the three kingdoms we just discussed, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, as different movies being projected in a theater. They are constantly changing, right? There's light, there's dark, action, quiet, comedy, drama, but what holds the movies? The screen itself. That is Turiya. The screen is totally unchanging. It is completely unaffected by the fiery explosions or the pitch-black darkness happening in the movie, and it is ever present.
The movies come and go, but the screen permanently remains.
Section 6. The timeless background. So the crucial point is, to truly grasp the secret of verse 7, we actually must shift our focus entirely away from those changing movies. We have to stop looking at the daily drama of our waking and sleeping lives and look directly at that timeless background. Now, Turiya literally translates to the fourth, but this is where people easily get tripped up. It is not a separate chronological state. It's not like some secret fourth channel you switch your brain to after you wake up, dream, and sleep. No, instead, Turiya is the underlying background of pure consciousness that illuminates all those other three states. In the waking state, Turiya experiences through your physical body. In the dream state, it experiences through the subtle mind. Turiya is simply the ever-present foundation of the whole shebang.
And once you finally strip away all those movies, once all those conceptual overlays are dissolved, what is the actual nature of that screen? Well, the verse reveals three absolutely magnificent words: Shantam, utterly peaceful and serene; Shivam, all blissful and benign; Advaitam, non-dual. This is the true, incredibly positive nature of this underlying consciousness when everything else just gets out of the way.
Digging just a bit deeper into its core nature, the text calls it ekatma pratyasaram, meaning it is the very essence of pure self-awareness. You realize it simply through awareness itself, not by observing some external object. The verse also calls it prapancho pashamam, which means the absolute quietude or cessation of all phenomenal appearance. In this state, there is absolutely zero subject-object distinction. The difference between the observer and the observed completely vanishes into pure awareness.
Now, you might be wondering, how does this build into something highly practical for your own life? Like, why does this ancient text actually matter today? It matters because liberation isn't about creating some new, otherworldly state. It's simply recognizing the timeless background that is already present right now. You don't need to destroy your mind or escape the physical world to achieve enlightenment. You simply realize that you are the underlying, peaceful, non-dual awareness in which the entire world naturally appears and disappears.
Which brings us to the stunning conclusion of verse 7. The text closes with this powerful, definitive declaration, Sa Atma, Sa Vinyeya. This is the self. This is to be realized. After stripping away the waking world, the dreams, the deep sleep, what remains is the screen, the peaceful, non-dual observer. As we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with a thought to carry with you. The next time you sit in absolute silence, or maybe just before you drift off to sleep tonight, can you catch a glimpse of the screen behind the movie? Can you sense the you that never actually changes?